What's up, diggity dogs? I just made a mess in the other room. High five.
You're watching Fugitive Red Eye, and welcome to another DVD collection update. To start off with, today we have a double bill, 2 blockbuster films on 1 DVD disc, and that's Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm, Combat Begins Again, and Man of Miracles. I predominantly bought this from Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm, because that's that cartoon of Mortal Kombat, and I was curious to see that, the old one from the 90s. As you can see, it's on a flipper disc, and here we have more Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm. This is actually a Netherlands release. So I think that's pretty interesting as an import, but we got Skin Deep, Combat Begins Again, and Acid Tongue. There's the disc itself. Next up, we have Bruce Almighty, which is a Jim Carrey movie where he becomes God. It's a pretty decent Jim Carrey movie. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely enjoyable. There's the disc itself. Then we have Interview with a Vampire. I've seen this movie when I was a kid. It's been a long time since I've seen it, and I wanted to see it again, so I bought it at the thrift store where I also bought Bruce Almighty. There's the back of the case, and there's the disc itself and the inner flap. Next up, we have the Discotheque Blu-ray re-release of Devilman Lady. I already do own the full series on DVD, but now I have the Blu-ray as well. The Blu-ray actually uses the Japanese title, Devilman Lady, whereas in the DVDs they call it The Devil Lady, so they actually use the proper title on the Blu-ray edition. There's the back of the case on that. And would you look at that, the slip case is different from the inner case. I always love it when things do that, although the backs are the same. The art on the discs is actually very similar. It's actually reusing some of the art from the old release, so I do think that's pretty cool too. As you can see, the case art's actually reversible, so I could have the slip case match the inner case, but why would I want to do that? The only thing the DVDs did better than this one, I think, is that the DVDs included those little character cards of the different demons. And now for some things that aren't DVDs, we have the Kingston Bible, which is a graphic novel adaptation of the Bible. Again, as I've said time and time again, I'm not a particularly religious person, but I'm not an atheist either, and I still find the Bible interesting and the stories in it to be very interesting as well. And I think experiencing it as a graphic novel is definitely a fascinating way to do it. But there's 3 big volumes of it. Here's the second volume. There's the back of it. They definitely put a lot of effort into the artwork in this as well. But yeah, I think it's a fascinating way to experience the Bible stories. And here's the third and final volume. There's the back of it. But yeah, overall, interesting set. I definitely look forward to reading it. I've read a little bit of it already, but I do plan to read the whole. Next up, we have a Toshio Maeda manga that has not been released in the US, but I believe it's called Jigoku Kiss or something like that. I don't know a whole lot about it. It's in Japanese, but I do like Toshio Maeda. He's my second favorite manga author. And so this is Volume 1. And then here's Volume 2. There's the back of that. There's Volume 3, and the back of that. And as is often the case with a lot of Japanese manga releases, this one has a slip cover over it. Although, curiously, this one actually has the case design underneath the slip cover as well, so that's kind of cool. As you can see, Volume 2 does much the same thing, as does Volume 3. Here we also have the Undertale tarot cards. I did a whole video on these that's already up on the channel, so there's that. I'm not going to go as in detail, because the video on its own of this was 12 minutes, but there. And now for something I haven't done in a little while here, I'm going to show some stuff that I've ordered but hasn't arrived yet. So to start off with, we have Invader Zim Season One. Now you may be asking yourself, don't you already have the full series of Invader Zim? Yes I do, but the discs are pretty scratched up, and I keep them in one of those, like, zip-up binder things. So I thought it'd be best to just kind of replace it and have a better copy, and I'll use the zip-up binder copy for, like, camping and stuff. That's probably what I'm ultimately going to end up doing with those zip-up cases, because that phase that we went through of getting rid of our main cases definitely was hell on quite a few discs. And then the next thing I'm waiting to arrive is Gantz O, which is the Gantz 3D animated movie. I really like this movie. I think it's a great adaptation of the Osaka arc of the Gantz manga. Obviously, it does leave out a few things here and there, but it's a pretty decent adaptation as well. So I'm looking forward to both of those as well. Next up, we have a complete and total impulse buy. This is an Atari 800 XL. This may just look like a keyboard, but for those of you who know, this is one of those old Atari home computers. This is the computer itself, as is my understanding. It's got a cartridge slot up here, and 2 controller ports right here. There's the plug for the monitor. There's a switch box one. I'm not sure what all of these are, in perfect honesty. And I have none of the cords for this thing. I'm not even sure this thing works. It was $30 at a thrift store. they had it in their collectible display. But I just thought it would be kind of cool to have, so don't know if it works, don't have any of the cords for it currently. I do plan to try to get some stuff to make it work eventually, but I just thought it'd be cool to have. So again, kind of an impulse buy, but hey, there it is. So yeah, that'll do it for this DVD collection update. Again, a lot more than DVDs nowadays. I did ask in my recent Red Eye Raw if people wanted me to keep DVD in the title or just remove it, so just collection update. I did have one person say they thought I should change it, but then he got outvoted by 2 other people saying I should keep it. So for now, this series is still called DVD Collection Updates. So there you go. I will see you in the next one. Toodles.
What am I watching? I don't know, but I hate it.
I'm gonna fucking die here, Jack!
Fuck it.